Good morning. It's Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm a bit early. I don't know what's happened, but I've managed to get ready a bit early today. So I'm here and I'm just waiting for you guys. So in case you've never joined before, I'm Gemma Crow, jewellery maker, designer, teacher, presenter. I work with every medium from wire to metals to beads and clays and all sorts. And I've always got workshops going on. So my website is gemmacrow.com. There's not much on there at the moment because I'm moving house on Friday. So new house, new studio, new business, new life. Yeah, so lots going on at the moment, but not many workshops, but there will be. By the end of the day, you will see some workshops scheduled for the end of June on my calendar. So fingers crossed you can join me there. So who's with me today? Who's joining me live this morning? It's a bit grayer today, a bit cooler. So I'm in my loft, and for a change, I'm not absolutely boiling hot. And I can have the skylight open a little bit. So I've got a bit of natural light today, which is nice. Usually just surrounded by ring lights. Good morning, Mary. You're my first one in. Who else? I know there's a few more in. I can see the numbers. I just can't see any names. So give me a hello or a little heart or a thumbs up if you're happy to see me this morning. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Francis. Lovely to see you. Today is like the calm before the storm. It's my last day of just doing normal activities until the final move. But mind you, I will do some packing today, but I'm almost done up here. So after today, I can completely pack away this studio and get ready to open it back up in a few weeks. Thought I'd be packing. Mary Morris thought I'd be packing. Why? Thought I would be packing. Yes. Well, I should be probably, but could have another day procrastinating. Not really. I've got loads to do today. Last sort of day of jewelry work. So love my necklace. Yes, thanks, Linda. I've got this on. It's like product placement. This is what I will be doing this evening. These are the gems I will be bringing you this evening on Charmers, and they've come together really nicely. So I thought I'd show it off. It's just the perfect length for me as well. I'm really, and it's very. Hide my tabs. It's very comfortable. Looks very. Why can I never do this? This side. That is lush. Yeah, I'll give you a close up in a bit. It's very pretty. Very pretty. I'm very pleased. Very pleased with this one. I just had a day. I said, didn't feel, some of those days I just don't feel like work. I felt really guilty for just chilling out and enjoying making this piece. And Chris came home from work and he said, well, you've been working all day, just, chill out. And I was like, but I've had such nice work. Didn't feel like I was working at all. I think it's gorgeous. I'll talk you through it. It's obviously this wire center. I'll be doing something very similar on Charmers this evening, just a slightly simplified version because it's quite a big project. But I'm thinking I might put this one on as a workshop, this whole one. Very Egyptian. It's inspired, Linda, by these amazing ancient scarabs. So these are clay scarabs, apparently ancient. So it's very difficult to verify these things. However, they were bought as original ancient scarabs from the Egyptian period. So they're clay. You're not seeing it, are you? See if I can. Maybe you'll see it when the camera's down a bit later. But they're absolutely beautiful. Just gorgeous little scarabs. So so when I picked the gemstones around it, I picked carnelians and lapis and to try and sort of bring that together, bring that Egyptian look. Tubes so that I could make this collar be this sort of collar style. So it's gorgeous. I loved making it. And lots of technique in there though, so a bit too much for a full demo this evening, but I will do a slightly simplified version. It's going to have a bit more going on. It's still got a bit more to go in this one, but this so you get the framework and how to suspend the scarabs. So, and look at all the beautiful gemstones that I got to go with it. Lovely, says Linda. So what have you all been up to? This gorgeous weather we've had. What an amazing run of weather. It looks a bit grey today, but it's still warm. It's not cold. Yeah, we've had such a chock-a-block few days. The last weekend here in Bristol in the southwest, our village has had so much going on. So we've had Thursday, we ended up going out for a bit longer than we planned. And then Friday we had our sort of final meet with friends and people that live in the area that we've met here. So we had a few drinks and there was happened to be live music. We were in the garden till very late. And then Saturday, the most incredible event ever. Honestly, it was bizarre. It's called bike jousting. So if you imagine a medieval joust, you know, they're on their horses and they're trying to knock each other off with their big lances. Well, it's like that, but it's people on bikes dressed as knights, with great big sticks, a bit like the gladiators, you know, great big sticks with foam ends, so it's not as dangerous, but it's still dangerous. And they just ride at each other at speed and try and knock each other off their bikes. It's the most funniest, bizarre thing. And the DJ, a local guy, Gareth, there was music, and the music was all medieval, but it was like instrumental versions of modern day songs, but done with a medieval twist. So you'd be listening to it and you think, hang on, that's Wu-Tang Clan or something. It's like, it was amazing, just so bonkers. Yeah, so that was a great day on Saturday, and then friends came over, and then yesterday, the most gorgeous day of all of the Gloucester family, or my side, my Gloucester side, came over for an afternoon in the garden. So from about midday yesterday, we were playing badminton and dressing up with all the fancy dress and just having a lovely family day. It was very emotional. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, at leaving time, you know, you dread, you know, the time's coming and you start looking and thinking, oh God, I'm gonna have to say goodbye to everybody in a minute. So there was lots of tears, and I'm surprised I can actually see out of my eyes today, because lots of crying, lots of cuddles. It's daft, really. We're not, it's not like we're going across the other side of the world, but I think we've always been so close. To have that distance between us is going to be difficult. It's difficult to contemplate what that means, and it probably means nothing in the grand scheme of it, but it feels big, you know. So yeah, it's quite emotional. And my Tom, he's still here. He's finally finished his degree, so all that worry and all that stress is all over. Well, obviously there's the like, have I done enough? Did I do it right? Did I do this? But the sleepless nights and the all-night studying is done. He's free, so he's busy sleeping and having some home comforts. So yeah, he's all done and downstairs cuddling the dog. Oh, we had loads of gentlemen bikers through my high street on Saturday doing a charity run. Spectacular sight, good cause. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, the family day was gorgeous, Abby. But you're not here, yeah. Morning, Sylv. How was everybody? So we had a workshop on Friday, Milliput workshop. It was a lovely day. It was so nice to chill and create stuff together, and everybody made loads. I think, Abby, you made 11 things, didn't you? So that was great. And I packed it all away straight away, because I thought I can't leave it out for the weekend. So all mine is packed away, but I'll have loads to finish, because obviously everything I demoed. So that's exciting. Yeah, so a pretty intense, busy, emotional weekend. But But, you know, I'm feeling ready for the week ahead. I say it and then I look and think, and you know, you think you're packed and then you think, well, hang on, yeah, the main stuff's packed, but there's still so many bits. You know what to do with the bits? My temptation is just get a bin bag and put all the bits in and get rid. But, you know, you can't do that. So, yeah, it's, oh, gosh, I hate moving. I hate moving. But my dad has messaged this morning because obviously that's where we're going, up to Yorkshire, and we'll be in what's been my dad's house for the last nearly 40 years. And he's messaged this morning saying, I'm putting the milk order in for the weekend. How much milk would you like? Would you like eggs? Oh my God, ordering our weekend milk. It just seems so bonkers, absolutely bonkers. Yeah, so so you won't see me next Monday. Obviously, it's a bank holiday anyway, but I think we'll be a little bit preoccupied. So you won't see me next Monday. If I get a chance, I will give you a little show around what will be the new studio. And the lovely thing about the new studio is it's straight from off the street. So when I do things like open studios or one-to-one workshops, things like that, I can have people straight in straight in. You know, it's not through the house, it's just part of the high street. So that's really cool. And that's very exciting, but there's a lot to do because it's a small space and there's a lot of stuff, ever such a lot of stuff. So I don't know where it's all going. Big move, Gemma. Yes, it is. It is. We are excited. Chris has got his last 2 days at work today and tomorrow. And I know his colleagues or his staff have organised something for him, and he's off out with them tomorrow night. So just for, you know, a few farewell drinks. So yeah, it will probably hit him a bit more tomorrow because, of course, although Chris has spent most of his life in the southwest, he's got a lot of friends here. His mum is now north as well. His sister's here, but yeah, it's I think leaving work is probably going to be I think it will hit once after Tuesday. You know, the emotion side of it. You know, he's been very pragmatic and organised and focusing on what's got to be done, particularly at work. And yeah, and I think come Tuesday he'll be like, oh, it's happening, we're going. Good morning, Marjorie. So you have studio annex, sounds brilliant. And well, sort of, it's part of the house. It's a dining room. It's not going to be the dining room. It's going to be the work room because I've got to work somewhere. So yeah, and the upstairs rooms, because it's a quite a cute cottage. The upstairs rooms look lots of slopes in the ceiling, and I don't want to be in the same position as I am here, where I can't have any shelves. So yeah, so I'm going in the dining room downstairs. So yes, it might not be that practical. You know, things might change in the future, but for now, that's where it's going to be. And it seems to make sense because it's straight in off the street. I can watch the world go by outside, and you know, and yeah. So the front window, and then the shop. It's been nice. So I feel like it's all flowing. Oh, you can't miss me already, Abby. I haven't gone yet. And also, you'll see me just as much, I should imagine. I know you take regular trips up to Whitby, and that's sort of en route. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a funny old one, isn't it? Right then, so let's get your votes in because I do have to get away for 11 today. I do have to be away and getting on with everything. So votes in for your mystery make. I'll do my best to find the materials I need to do whatever's in the box. Abby's straight in with the number 5. So let's get my little pad ready. Right, 5 for Abby. Hiya, Bogner. Late again and couldn't join live for past few Mondays. Work, unfortunately. Oh, that's a shame. Sorry, Bogner, you haven't been able to join us. But, you know, whenever you get here, it's lovely. I won't be here next weekend because it's bank holiday and I'm moving on Friday. So, Mary, you'd like a 7. A 4 for Marjorie. Francis, you'd like a 7 as well. Bogner, a 4. And Linda, a 7. Ooh, 7's taking the lead. Yeah, get your votes in. A 7 for Joe as well. Number 7 for Joe. I have to remember how to do that when number 7 wins. I think I remember. What else? I mean, yeah, thinking about workshops. What do you think then? So this piece here, we'll get a better look when I change the camera. This is like a very Egyptian inspired. So the centerpiece, if you missed it earlier, is a clay, authentic clay Egyptian scarab. So apparently, so Marie said to me, I've got these scarabs, what do you think? And she said they're real apparently. She said, you know, it's hard to verify these things, but apparently they're real, you know. So I was thinking, so when they arrived, I was thinking, I'm going to get these like iridescent scarab shells, you know, you've seen them. And I thought, okay, that'd be interesting. Anyway, they arrived, these little scarabs. I thought, what does she mean they're real? And I thought, what? So I said, Marie, just tell me, what do you mean by real? Do you mean fossil? And she said, no, she just laughed. No, not a fossil. They're clay. But apparently they, you know, because they used to produce a lot of scarabs as talismans and, you know, for decoration and things like that, and just to trade with actually. So apparently these are actually ancient scarabs, clay scarabs from ancient times. There's not many of them, so you know, maybe that's the truth, but whatever, they're very gorgeous, they feel very authentic, and they look so beautiful. I love them. So I used them as the basis for designing a piece. And of course, Egyptian jewelry and Art Deco, they sort of go in hand. So we ended up with this design. So everything you need to, every gem you need to make this will be in tonight's live from 6 o'clock on Instagram, Charmers Gems Instagram. So please join me there. I will be demonstrating some techniques similar to this. It's a simplified version of this. So suspending that scarab in a frame with an Egyptian Art Deco feel. So that will be tonight's demo, with some absolutely beautiful gemstones, tube beads, lapis lazuli, carnelian, sodalite, onyx, some sort of agate. There's all sorts. It's gorgeous. And I'll be talking through how this come together. But I am thinking about a workshop at the end of the month. So at the end of next month. So what do you think? Do you reckon you fancy doing a workshop on this piece? It's got a scarab in the middle, but it doesn't have to have a scarab in the middle, of course. So yeah, what do you reckon? We'll do another milliput workshop as well, because that was good fun. Yes, please, says Marjorie. Rightio, you're on. I'm thinking this is what I'm going to put on for the workshop. It will be an afternoon, probably a Friday afternoon workshop, or Friday morning workshop. What do you reckon? Friday morning, Friday afternoon, maybe even a Saturday. Do you reckon we could do a Saturday morning, couldn't we? Fancy doing a Saturday morning? What's your best day? Best days for workshop, tell me. Because the shop will be open on Saturday mornings, but a lot of the time Chris will be able to do Saturday mornings at the shop, so I can do the workshop. It doesn't need 2 of us in the shop because it's very quiet. So we can both do it. Saturdays, yeah, I might try a few Saturdays. I think it will work because I don't usually get to do them, so we might try a few Saturdays. And what else can I tell you? Bought some plants from Makers Central for milliput. Some paints. Oh, nice. Fridays are good, but Saturday has a day off sort of vibe. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Feels nice. Saturday weekend workshop. Haven't abandoned the malachite pendant design you sent me, Gemma. Been a bit busy. Need a clear space to concentrate on it. Oh, yeah, as well. Keep going. And you weren't well, were you, Linda? You were unwell, weren't you, for your fair? That was a shame. Yeah, I can't wait to see it finished. yes to milliput and weekdays are better. Yeah, I think I will stick with like a weekday on a regular basis, but then I think I might throw in sort of a Saturday every month, Saturday morning. And then of course some in-person ones coming soon. I think by September I should be doing some in-person workshops on the weekends up at Bugthorpe, Yorkshire. That'd be fun, won't it? And maybe some collaboration workshops. That'd be nice with peeps. What else? What is anybody? Are you working on things at the moment? What are your projects at the moment? What are you stuck with? Couldn't do my first one. Disappointed, but feeling better now. I'm glad you're feeling better, Linda. I've been religiously taking the Barocca, you know, to try and keep my vitamins in. Definitely going to need to feel well for the next few days, and a ban on wine for a few days as well. Give our liver a break. Blimey, it seems that every evening there's been drinks, or every day there's been drinks with friends. It's just like, oh my goodness me, there's far too much alcohol in my blood, I'm sure. September would be great fun. Yeah, well, watch this space. Need to get up there, get a feel for it, look at the bookings at the local hall so I know when it's free, and yeah, and then try and get something booked in, a couple between now and Christmas. Workshops would be fab, but Yorkshire's too far for me, I'm afraid. Oh, Mary. Or we could do combos, you know, we could do live from. Do you remember when I used to do inspiration days and you could join in live? I think I'm going to go back to that. So we'd have Inspiration Day live. You get a little pack at home to work with and join the fun, you know, the classroom fun. Get your soup recipe and your scented candles and all that, so that you can really feel that same immersion or similar immersion. And then, yeah, and then have that lovely, I love Inspiration Days, like that full senses immersion, so that you can really get in the zone, and then play and make things. So I think I will definitely go back to doing that. So maybe 3 or 4 inspiration days a year, and then we can do a live inspiration days too. Yeah, we'll get there. So I've made a glasses case in leather, learnt saddle stitch and edge polishing. David did blacksmithing. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. I can imagine, David, it's hard work, blacksmithing. My goodness, I was bought, my brother and sister, Faye and Ben, bought me a blacksmithing experience voucher for my 40th birthday, and I made beautiful candlestick, and I absolutely loved it. But my gosh, was it hard work? Such hard work. And it was a hot day as well, and I was sweating, bashing this thing with the furnace going. Oh, it was great. I loved it, and I love the candlestick I made. Joe, check out National Trust Places. One had a brilliant event last Saturday. Oh, okay. There's some great events going on around, isn't there? Mixed live and online. Count me in, please. Excellent. Abby, we worked out you're 4 to 5 hours away from us. Yeah, it's not that bad, is it? I don't envy you. Moving is extremely stressful, so take a good care of enough rest in addition to vitamins. Yes, I'm definitely stacking in the vitamins. Hi, Catherine. The workshop for the necklace you are wearing, will that be an online workshop? Yes, it will. This will be probably one of the first ones I do back when I'm finally ready to sort of leave the shop and post office and concentrate on teaching again. Not leave the shop and post office, but, you know, Chris and I are going to do it together for the first good 3-4 weeks, and then hopefully we'll feel confident enough to do it on our own, and we can each then get on with our own businesses and things that we want to pursue. So it will be an online one. And it's likely this one will be a Friday. Good. You're really looking forward to that then, Catherine. Sorry, I'm showing a bit of cleavage. It's not like me. Cover that up. Has anybody got any more votes? I've got some votes in, but I've got my mystery demo. I'm going to do my best to do it with the limited product I have around me. But I'd love to do a demo for you today. So if you would like to vote on numbers between numbers 1 to 10, so just in case you haven't seen this before, I'm pretty sure all of you have that are in, but I have got a box here with numbers 1 to 10, and each of those little partitions have got a miniature, a little demonstration, a little jewelry making demo. So if you'd like to vote, I will open the box that gets the most votes. I did put some new ones in here as I was sorting out. Also, guys, I have another humongous box of jewelry, so there will be a sale very soon. So again, probably towards the end of next month, there'll be another sale. So, and we're at the post office, so literally you can just like pack it up, put it on the scales, send it out. Yorkshire is good for real workshops, far away from me, but a good excuse to have a break. Yes, Bognor, it's a beautiful part of the world. Count you in for the sale? No problem. Good, says Abby. Oh, Abby, also, when I sent your goodies from the sale, I forgot to put in that piece that I promised you with the hexagonal gaps. And so I've put it in a box, and there's also some other random stuff in there that I will send up. So hopefully it'll be a little box of goodies that you'll enjoy. If you don't want them, throw it all away. Just I'm sending it to you anyway. Linda, I'm sure your regulars who use the post office will be friendly up Yorkshire. Yeah. I mean, I do know of a lot of the people that live in Bugthorpe. Like I've either I mean, I went to school there for a short time, and I visited there regularly throughout my childhood and adult life. So I'm familiar with lots of the names and who people are. So yeah, and of course Tom spent quite a bit of time up there in the summer holidays and things like that. He'd go and spend a week at a time with his nana and granddad, and he's got friends up there as well. So it's not completely new, and I think everybody's looking forward to having, I think there's an element of relief as well. You know, the shop has been run and Postal has been run by my dad for the last 40 years, and it's a very close community. And I think there's a sense of relief that there's somebody sort of familiar or within the same family coming in to take over, because it could have been anybody, couldn't it? Completely new, complete stranger. And so I think there's a bit of a sense of relief that it's somebody familiar who has a real sense of responsibility for the community like we do. So I think, yeah, so I think we'll be welcome. I think everybody's going to be very inquisitive, you know, to see who we are. And probably people may be a bit nervous about changes. We don't plan to do many changes, if any. Dad's run a fantastic shop and business for the last 40 years. So we would just hope to run it with as much integrity and professionalism and continuity as he did, really. So yeah, it's quite an honor to be taking it over for Chris and I. Also quite a bit of pressure, because my dad has done such a beautiful job for the last 40 years and, you know, created a gorgeous home and stunning garden that we're now responsible for. To Chris, but the dog will always be on a lead. She would never be allowed to dig. So yeah, we got a lot to live up to, but I reckon we can do it. And I think we can bring younger energy, more community events, as I love that stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. Joe, Yorkshire is going home to me, so I will probably make the trek. Yay! That is, of course, if you don't mind. I don't mind at all, Joe. continuity is always comfortable. Yeah, that's it. I think there is that, because I think when Dad announced that he was going to be retiring, I think the fear is like, oh, could somebody new come in, and you wonder, because it is more than just a shop. It's a tiny community, and people, value that service, and and trust him, trust my dad and Sylvia, obviously my stepmom. They've learned that they can rely on them and trust them, and I think that they're a lifeline for many people in the village. It's a very isolated village. There's no bus services, there's no there's no public transport. And it is a little bit like stepping back in time. So I think the shop is pretty much a lifeline, and it might, Dad might be the only person somebody speaks to in the day, so it's nice. It's nice. It's going to be a very nice, change. Nice. We'll see what it's like, but we're doing it. We're going. It's happening. Friday morning we're off. So that's if I've got packed, of course. It's definitely next Tuesday you start. Yes, yeah. We'll be starting next Tuesday, and we will be, absolutely no surprise visits, Abby. Do not surprise me on Tuesday, because we have 6 days of quite intensive training for those few. So we'll pretty much be off radar for a few weeks, because we got a trainer in, and they, we're bound to contractually bound to complete that training and work with the trainer. So definitely no surprise visits next week. I know you, Abby. So right, any more votes? I haven't had any more votes in. I haven't had a vote from you, Sylv or Joe. And I was off to see you lot. Yeah, well, I know you did this a few weeks ago, and you turned up at the show. I was like, oh my gosh, you just turned up. There you were. And so I knew Sylv was coming and Helene, but I didn't know Abby and Jez were coming. Right, where are we? Have I got any more votes? 7 for Sylv. Oh, 7 is definitely in the lead. It's going to take a lot to knock that off. Joe's a 7. Oh, you did, Joe. Sorry. You did. Anybody else? I do love a hug. I love a hug. I love a hug. I am a hugger. I had so many hugs yesterday. Oh, it's lovely. Oh God, it was so lovely. It was lovely just watching all the family in the garden. What beautiful weather. We were so lucky. We were so lucky this weekend at how lovely the weather's been. We were able to just all be in the garden, just enjoying things, kids playing, and, the adults sat around nattering, and the barbecue going. And oh God, it was lovely. Just couldn't have asked for a better day. But it almost makes it worse, It's like, that time you see people starting putting their bags together, and you think, oh my God, they're going in a minute. Then I start like just being busy. Right, I'm going to be busy. I'm going to tidy this up. I'm going to put that away, because I'm delaying having to say bye to everybody. Oh. And today is the last day that Willow will be here as well. So this evening will be our last sort of walk with Willow around here, because she's going to stay with friends for a few days while we finish the packing. So I think that might be emotional. Oh gosh, I don't know if I'll cope. Just don't know how to hug. It took me nearly 17 years to get it right for whoops. Oh, Joe, you just got to lean in. And they say, don't they, a hug, you feel the full neurological, physical benefits of a hug if you hug for 20 seconds. Now, it doesn't sound long, but when you're hugging somebody, 20 seconds is a long time. And you get past that first 3 seconds, and it starts to be a bit awkward. But you just got to ride it out. I mean, I'm all in. I do the hugs. Chris on 3, Barbie, how's Faye doing? No, well, sort of Chris and I, we were doing pizzas, so we didn't have burgers and stuff yesterday because we got this new pizza oven that I had as a gift, a leaving gift from my works, and so we just said bring pizza, everybody bring a pizza or toppings you want, and we just used the pizza oven. However, not everybody bought fresh dough, so the ready-made pizzas didn't work so well in there. They got a bit black on the bottom, so then we ended up putting the oven on. I thought, oh, easy. Everybody, there's like 18 of them, so I thought that's easy. You know, it's like 3 minutes in the pizza oven for a pizza. That's great. Just chuck the pizzas in, put them all on the tables. Everybody can have what they like. And I thought that's nice and easy. It's easier than a barbecue. I don't want Chris stood there all day on the barbecue, even though he loves it. But it was hard work. It was really hard work. So yeah. So in the end, we had the oven on, the air fryer on. But yeah. So just don't know how to hug. Oh, I got. How's Faye? Faye's good. Yeah, Faye's doing really good. They've got loads of events. They're ghost hunting, and sort of paranormal investigations going really well. I feel totally disconnected and nauseous when you hug. Oh, you're gonna have to practice. Get some teddies or a dog or cat. Practice hugging them. Oh, trees. Trees are a great thing to hug. I'd like more people to hug. Oh, you can have me to hug, Linda. Even virtual ones. Yeah. Kids give great hugs, don't they? Poppy gave me a lovely hug yesterday, my brother's littlest. Lovely hug. And oh, it's so sweet. So everybody, there's a big family, so there wasn't room for everybody on the deck. Plus, it was roasting hot, and there was the shade only got so many people, so there were little chairs all around. And then and the kids were playing badminton on the grass. So Chris went and sat on the steps at the back of our house. There's some steps down from like a deck because the garden's low. And Chris went and sat on there on his own. And little Poppy noticed that Chris was on his own, and so she just trotted over. She just sat on his lap. I think Chris was a little bit like, I don't know what to do. So anyway, she sat there, and then she trotted back to us, and she sat on the chair, and she said, "Uncle Crisps," because that's what she calls him, Uncle Crisps. There's no space for him, and so she was ever so worried. And they said, "Well, you've got his chair," and then she looked around, and she said, "I'm going to go sit with him again." So she then went and just sat next to him, and they were cheering on. They looked like they were watching Wimbledon, the pair of them, just sat clapping the kids when they got a good score. It was lovely. You hug your cat, yeah. Cats are good cuddlers. Doggy cuddles and puppy kisses are totally sublime, yeah. Willow gives great cuddles. Gosh, in the morning, her cuddles are amazing. She sits and she puts her head right up. And of course, when she sits, she's my height. So she puts her head right up here. And she just really snuggles in. She's so sweet. And she responds so nicely to being kissed. Like if you kiss her, she then goes, makes funny noises. She's lovely. She's lovely to cuddle. She's now she's calmed down a bit. I think she's getting to that age now. She's starting to come out of full-on puppy and just calm down. And she was so good yesterday with all the kids running around. I mean, she nicked their shuttlecock about 1 million times, but that was part of the fun, chasing the dog for the shuttlecock. She thought she was playing. It was lovely. Right, okay, I think we have a clear winner with box number 7. I am going to have to do the demo and sort of close down Monday Mojo from the loft for the last time. And so I can get busy and start doing some packing. I might take another little break before I do that. Maybe I might have a little walk with the dog and Tom, because Tom's still here. So I'm going to hold on to him for a bit longer. Although when he goes, he is coming back. So that's nice. So I'm not going to have to say goodbye yet. I can't face that one. So I'm not going to talk about it. Right. If that's, I think number 7 is not going to be knocked off the top spot. So I'm going to do box number 7. So I'll open it up. I'm going to open it up. Box number 7 is this one. choice, by the way. It is a nice little technique, this. I just got to remember how to do it myself. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 2 wires. I got it. This is what you will be doing today. You see, it's like a rib cage. So this technique came from when I created a skeleton. I'm going to shut this now because the sun is coming out. Hip 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 hooray. Can we see that? It came from a sort of a collection that I created for Halloween. So this was a technique I used to create a rib cage. I think you can see that suits being a rib cage, doesn't it? And I realized it makes a really pretty little chandelier. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do, I think. Right. So it's sort of a cross between, it's like a bit like macrame, and a cross between macrame and braiding, except there's no left over right over left. So don't worry, Abby. I think you'll be all right with this one. Okay, let me bring this camera down. So bear with me. I'm going to, do you want to see all my boxes? Are you ready? Look at all those boxes. So many. That's a lot of stuff, isn't it? And it's got to come all down the stairs. Right, I'm going to turn this way. Now I'm going to cover the camera so I don't make you too dizzy. Let's wind it up. Oh. Right, how do I do this? I need a new system for this. You just can't get one tripod or one stand that does everything. And this one is great for Instagram and the phone, but terrible for my webcam. Right, here we go. Right, here's a little, so whilst we're here, I'll show you these little scarabs now because I couldn't see them before. Oh gosh, where's the other one gone? I've lost it. Here's one of them. Where's the other one gone? Oh, I don't know. I've got one here as well. Aren't they lovely? And then this one. They got a great drill hole in, so they're really versatile. Slide all the boxes down. Well, Joe, we have got a removals company, so they will be bringing all the boxes down. We have been a bit sensible, even though it costs a lot of money. It's definitely going to be worth it because we're going to be exhausted if we have to lug them all around as well. So my last job on Thursday will be to color code all the boxes and then give the removals a key so that they know exactly which rooms to take the boxes in, because my back is not good at the best of times. So moving and packing is really difficult. And so far I've been able to manage. Right, let's get some bits and bobs. I've got my box of scrap wires here, so I'm sure I can find something. So I'll tell you what. So with this one, I've used 0.8 millimeter wire for all of it, and that's made it quite chunky. But I think what I'm going to do here is use a 1 mil through the core for demo, and then I'm going to use a 0.6 mil to do the chandelier, and that will be plenty sturdy enough. Okay, so we'll try that. So I've got a bit of 1 mil wire. I've got a little spare bit here, little 1 mil wire. And then what have I got in this box? Trying to use up all my scraps instead of opening new bits. Have you got a box that looks like this? Scraps. I'm not sure I'm going to be lucky with a 0.6. What's that? No. No, I'll have to get a new 0.6. Damn. That's square. That's square. Tangled. There we go. Got some here. So, this doesn't need to be very long, but it's easier to work on a long piece and then trim it down after, because then you don't have to worry about having the right amount or using a fiddly piece to work with. And then with my 0.6 wires or 0.8 if you're doing a chunkier version, just take off around 30 centimeters, and you want 2 lengths of that, and this is going to create that rib cage or that sort of decorative chandelier. So let's have 2 lengths of that, about 30 centimeters each. And if you are using a heavier gauge wire like a 0.8 to do this technique, then just make sure it's a really nice soft wire, because if it's too springy, it's going to be difficult to do. So you want it nice and soft. So bare copper that you've warmed nicely through your fingers would be perfect. Or some of the coated wires, like a champagne coated wire that you might have in your stash. Some of that was really soft and malleable, and that's what I've got going on in this one. Okay, so you can see this then is like the core of it. This creates, like, if we're calling it a rib cage, this creates the spine where the ribs are going to attach to. So what I'm going to do is I've got my macrame board here, and I'm just tucking it in the end because it's going to make it easier just for it to hold on to. You could use a table vise as well. That would be good. And so now that's secured in place, I'm just going to take my first 0.6 wire, and I'm just going to take it underneath and wrap it around, so equal amounts each side. So find the center, wrap it around like that, and pull, okay, off to the side like that. And then we'll do the same with the other one. So we're going to come in, find the center, and wrap it around like that and pull it nice and tight. Okay, and we'll scotch those two up together. All right, so that's the first bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the top one, and I'm going to go underneath the wire, pull it around like that, and then back. So you're just going under and pulling it back, and then take the top wire the other side and do the same. So take it under, pull it nice and tight, and then over to the other side. Okay, what I'll do is I'll do that. Let me see if I can raise this up a little bit so it's a bit closer to the camera. And then basically we're just going to keep doing that. We're just going to take it in turns. It's a bit closer. Just going to take it in turns. So now we've got 2 new top sets of wire. So I'm going to take the top one and always start the same side. Bring this so it's coming from over. We're going to go underneath, pull it in, pull it against the wire, and then back on itself. Okay, then the other one, over the top of this one, underneath that one, and pull it, and then back on itself. Okay, yep, you can see that's how it is so far. Okay, and then what we can do is keep scratching it nice and close together. Okay, then we've got 2 top sets again. So I'm going to take this side, top set this side, it comes over the top of that one, underneath the middle one, and you pull it in, and then over to the side. Okay, then the other side, take this one, over the top of this wire, underneath the middle wire, pull it, and over to the side. And can you see, as we do this, it's gradually getting wider. So it's gradually tapering out, which gives it that lovely, why I used it for the rib cage effect. But also when you're making these nice chandeliers, it's nice to have this taper, isn't it? And you can up the wires, so you can do more wires if you like. You can, you know, have several wires off to the side. Okay, so same again, wire over, underneath the middle wire, and then over the top like that. Give it a press out to the side, and the other one over the top of this wire, underneath the middle wire, and over the top like that. All right. Okay, and don't forget, every now and again, just scotch them all up together like so, and then you just keep going until you've got the desired, you know, amount. So I'm going to keep going a few more. So I'm going to take this one over the top of that one, underneath the middle, pull it in, and off to the side. Same this side. Just make sure you're always getting the top set. Scooch it up. It's wiggling around because it's up on this surface. So pull it in, over to the side, and scooch it up. Right, let's do one more and then we'll finish these wires off. Okay, so top set, over the top of that one, underneath the middle one, pull in and over to the side, and then same this side, so over that one. This is the one. Yeah, just make sure you're definitely getting the top set because they do try and cross over. So over the top of that one, underneath that one, pull it in and off to the side. So you can make a full bracelet like this because eventually it will level out, becoming, you know, narrow. It's like a cheats macrame really, isn't it? All right then, so the next thing is to start finishing it off. We're going to just take the top set. We're going to take that round and actually we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. We don't need to really finish them off in that way. So we are going to just create loops on the ends of each of these because they're already positioned. But see this middle set, just to make it a little bit more stable because they're only looped over the middle. Just take the one and wrap it around the center like that, and then the other one and wrap it around the center, and then that will finish those quite nicely. And it's nice and, you know, it's nice and secure then. Okay, so there is our little section. So before we do anything, we're going to make sure we don't slide this off because you could, if you pulled on this, it would just slide off. So we're going to make sure we're just going to push it all up together. Push it all up together so that it's all nice and neat. And you can take your nylon pliers and give it a pinch down to settle it all into place, strengthen it even further. And then we just pop a loop on this top end, ready for an earring finding or whatever we're clasp, if it's going to be the start of a necklace. So I'm turning that off to the side. I'm going to trim it down. Trim it down so I've got enough to make a little loop. I've got just about 1 centimetre there. And take your round nose pliers and create a loop on the top. So there's our top loop. Not the best loop in the world, but it will do. Okay, and then we'll do the same at the bottom, and that's going to make sure it doesn't slip off now. So again, take the wire off to the side to give you that head start on your loop. Trim it off. Give myself a little bit more this time, to about 1 centimetre. Round those pliers to the end of that wire, and then turn a loop so it sits at the center like that. And then we're just going to create some loops with these. So the first, the inside two, we can do the loops on those first. So we're going to trim those down so the loop sits either side of the central one. So trim these down to about 1 centimetre each and turn them in. Like that. And then these two are coming out from the side, so we're going to trim those down as well, and we want them to sit just on the outside there, so I'll trim them a little bit longer, just over 1 centimetre, same each side, and then turn those loops in. That's a bit too long. Oh, actually I did them up the other way, that's why it's gone wrong. So yeah, I'm going to take a bit more off those. And instead of turning inwards, I'm going to turn outwards. That should help them sit sort of more chandelier style, so that those loops are sort of tapered, then they're going round. Okay, so this loop on the outside, the inside ones we turned inwards, the ones on the outside I'm going to turn outwards, so they sit and create that nice sort of triangular end. Okay, so there's your little chandelier. Ooh, little decorative chandelier. And if you were making a skeleton, obviously you could trim those bits off, and these bits here could be to dangle your legs, so they could be your hip joints, or you could follow it on down a bit further and that could be your pelvis, etc. Obviously this could be your head up here. So that's how you do it. So I have several boxes like yours with scrap and can never find what I need, so usually end up going for a new wire and have more scraps. I'm the same, Bogna. I have good intentions when it starts, but I always think, oh God, save me reaching through. I'll just get the new bit. But and you can sell off your scrap copper, so it's not the end of the world. Anyway, there is your little chandelier. So if you can see on this one, I use thicker wire, which is giving us a bit more of a chunky look. And these, I've hung some little drops. These are little spinel drops on the ends, so it makes quite a nice little dangly earring. But it could also be like if you want to do a multi-strand necklace or multi-strand bracelet, this could be, the connection, couldn't it, for the ends of the necklace or bracelet. So you could then end up, having your multi-layers, your clasp here, and it's all neatly done rather than an end cap. So that could work. Thank you, Mary. Yes, so do I. Hope it all goes well with the move. Let's move this camera back and I can say goodbye to you all for a few weeks. Oh, you don't want to see me upside down. Cover you up. Hello, I'm back. There, yeah, so you're welcome. I hope the demo is something useful that you can use. Nice technique. It looks a bit like macrame. Abby, I think you might like that one. So you can have a go at that and see what results you get. See what you can evolve it into. Okay. And if I don't see you before, if I don't see you at Chalmers tomorrow evening, this evening, after this evening's show, it'll be about 3 weeks before I do another one. So there's a little bit of a gap, and I'll be coming back with something new, which will be exciting. But tonight's live, I'll be demonstrating something along these lines, not quite as involved, but it'll be something similar. Yeah. So if hopefully I'll see most of you this evening, but if not, I'll see you in 2 weeks for the next Monday Mojo. Thank you for all the luck, everybody. Don't forget the thumbs up. Yes, please don't forget the thumbs up. They really help. They do help. Thanks, Gemma, and good luck with the move and new adventure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very exciting. Yeah, have a lovely rest of the week, everybody, and see you very soon. Bye.